Sometimes the bad laid plans go awry. 2020 was supposed to be the start of an exciting year, but well, we all know how it has turned out. This is an extraordinary difficult time for every organization, companies, CEOs, executives, entrepreneurs, employees, and business owners. We're all facing great uncertainty, and what lies ahead is unclear. What is evident, though, that the COVID-19 crisis has made it necessary for many companies to shift their business model quickly. Many are repurposing their assets to create new values, protect the brand, and survive. So today, we'd like to have an open discussion on what it takes for business to pivot in time of crisis. The adaptability and creativity and agility of an organization ultimately determines which business would be ready to weather the storm and thrive. Hi, my name is Terence. I'm a coach, I'm a trainer, I work with big organizations. And with me today, we have Mr. Izam Yusof, a former CEO, now turned business strategist with more than 30 years of experience working with numerous entities to transform their business. Welcome, Izam.
Hi, morning, Terence.
Without further ado, let's start examining what pivoting means to you.
Okay. Well, in time of crisis, we always think that what can we do within our business, or how else we can expand our business, or is there something else we can do in this current environment? So this is a challenging time, requires us to really put our thinking cap and then think ahead. But the most fundamental thing that you mentioned earlier, the most fundamental thing is we've got to be agile in this current environment. So as we grow, we know how the past we tend to build up our assets, build up our expenses, and we are not agile in terms of moving from one business to the other. So one thing that's important is to make sure whatever decision that we make to go into pivoting in the future, the essence has to be is there agility as we move into the new post COVID-19 year 2000. So that's the most fundamental thing.
Yeah, the interesting is we heard a lot of people talking about agility, and when this agility is in human being is yes, I can move really really fast, but in business thing, what do you think agility means? And so those tuning on, why don't you comment some on what agility means to you this morning?
Okay, that's a great question. Of course, like we know, the internet, there's a lot of data. You can go through it. You can find out what agility means. I still feel that the fundamental of business still has to stay. The most basic that how usually typically when I run businesses or I work with people or businesses, three common things that I would look at. One is the people, and second is the processes, and third one is the governance, and I would add technology in this current environment. So these four things has to be considered when you talk about agility. So when you want to move forward, are these things in place, or what tweaking or changes you need to make in these four areas? People, the process, your structure or governance, as well as your technology, where the technology that you can apply on and easy for you to move forward in whatever pivoting that you decide on.
Got it. And this pivoting words has been used by every single person on the internet at the moment. It's okay, pivot this, pivot that, da 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 da, so on and so forth. It's okay, actually, what should a business do to pivot at the moment?
Well, of course, you can define pivot as you having a new source of revenue, new source of business, new income, and which can carry through to survive your current business. In essence, if we talk about how traditionally we do business in the past, is in essence what it means is you diversify your business, or you expand your business, having more business within whatever they are operating that giving you quick cash flow. So that's the essence of it. So the question is, if we take the word pivot away, are we expanding into new area? Are we expanding within the area that we are good at? So the key thing you want to ask is, when you want to pivot, do you have the skill? Do you have the knowledge? And what's your mindset getting into this new thing? And also, one fundamental thing that I usually stress on, are we seeing the thing that what others are doing are successful, we tend to blindly follow, or we are preparing ourselves again in the four things that I mentioned earlier. Plus, do we have the knowledge? Do we have the skill to really move? And usually typically business people would have the gut feel that they want to go into something. Now I would recommend have some fundamental information, data analysis, data mining before you actually embark into what you're pivoting. And it doesn't take long. It doesn't have to be months of that. It's just a matter of sitting down, thinking about it, and making sure that, okay, this is the right decision to pivot. So at least, like we discussed yesterday, cash flow is everything. Cash is king. So, and how many months forward you can do within? Is it a development stage, or is it creating money stage, or is it you really expanding? So these are the things you have to put into consideration before you actually pivot. And like I said earlier, it doesn't take long. You need to put your thinking cap and really discuss with your team. Are you making the right choices to move forward? Yeah.
Okay, got it. And it's like when you have all this conversation, and like most people looking here today, it's like when you talk about pivot, it is like, yeah, I've seen people from stationery shops suddenly sell vegetables, and I've seen people like suddenly was doing construction, then sell uh, durians, for example. And I've seen people that have never done any cooking before is selling cakes online. I've seen personal trainers uh, actually moving into selling meals for people. So, what this is that kind of your conversation of diversifying and pivoting, and what do you more mean like doing quick things to get revenue? And for those looking on, it's like, what do you think that means for you?
Okay, there's no right or wrong answer because in current crisis, whatever that you venture in, I think I'm doing mind reading now. I think it could be how to generate fast cash flow in this current environment. So whatever works, that can work temporarily. What I will encourage also in the process of you running, whatever example you're giving example from construction to durian seller or from a stationery shop is doing news agent work into doing vegetable. It's okay for current times. You do whatever it takes. We learn in money and you take massive actions. So while you're doing that, process a bit yourself, ask yourself, what do I want to do? How do I improve the new business that I'm in? So the key thing again, do I have, what skill do I need to acquire in this new environment? So what knowledge do I have from the previous business that I can apply here? And what kind of growth do I want? Is this temporary until I really think of what I want to do? Or this is something I can start growing? Because sometimes idea comes when you take massive action. That's when your thinking comes in the game. So you can't really sit and think and then decide to do because when you are taking action, it's better than you are not taking any action. So that's my take for that. So just do whatever you're doing, put your thinking cap, analyze it as you're growing the new business or whatever you're doing. Of course, some of it for immediate cash flow, and how can you turn that into something else more sustainable moving forward? So then pivot into the right direction. And we know from Money and You, it's all about making correction along the way. So as we know from Money and You, we are being taught that the rocket, when they go to the moon, is only 3% correct in terms of heading to the right direction. 97% of the time is about making correction. So in this current COVID, take massive actions and make correction along the way.
So like there's thank you. So there's a lot of pivoting that happens, and then I also see a lot of pivoting fail. And how come they fail? You talk about taking massive action, and yet some people that take massive action, they put a lot of money into it, and then they still fail. Well, why do you think they fail compared to some that just pivot and succeed? Why do you think some of those fail?
Hmm, that's a good question. There are various considerations that you can start analyzing it. I go back to the fundamental again. I look, do I have the skill? Do I have the mindset for it? And then what knowledge do I need? And second, am I have the tenacity to handle that? We talk about grit, or whether I can do that. So that's fundamental. And again, when you talk about your team moving to doing something else, again, do you have the people? What kind of processes do you go through? And then the technology and what kind of structure do you have? So some people makeup are not meant to do something like what others are doing. So that's fundamental. You need to know also. You know what you're made of, and you know your current business environment, what they're good at. So when you pivot, you start pivoting into the environment that you feel you can add value and contributing to your growth. So I think I would start that way rather than just jumping into something not knowing And then again, the fundamental question we talked about yesterday and today, I keep on stressing, with your cash that you have now, how many more months that you can, last, how long can it last forward? So with that in mind, I'm sure when you pivot, you'll be similar or the right thing that you're taking. So there's a lot of consideration as you take massive action, and not just jumping to something when somebody's doing good. It could be good for now. Now means weeks, months, or what. So this is something that you need to consider as you're strategizing or thinking to pivot your business.
Okay,
Yeah,
so let's say to be relevant to the user is like, okay, so like now, like I'm uncertain, and like you said, I take massive action, and then like you said, okay, do something I'm familiar with. Like, what would be one thing that you suggest that like could be relevant to me or the listeners out here that is I should do to this thing called pivot?
sorry, I got distracted a bit. Well, it's why don't you weigh your options? You weigh your options before you actually deciding to take one step forward. Sometimes it's good to take one step back. It's good to take one step to the side and look at one step to the top, and then you move one step forward. So don't just jump into something immediately. So as business owners, I'm sure you gauge into wanting to go into something. So that's would be an excellent thing to do, to take one step back, one step to the side, and one step to the top, and seeing, waiting up, and then from there, and then pivot. Or maybe whatever that you have now, like we discussed yesterday, we talked about cash flow. There's some things you need to cut costs. You need to able to spend something meaningful, and then look at it whether it's effective and efficient. So this fundamental thing, you cannot run away. We cannot just one distinction. Let's say agility, this is the way to go, or you want to pivot because everybody's pivoting. You cannot use one distinction to run your business. There are several distinctions that make up your distinction. So what would that be in your business? So that would be a good start today for everyone this morning.
Okay, so if you're advising a business, okay, when you say one step forward, one step top, one step left, one step right, what does it mean for a business owner?
Well, we take one step back. You analyze your current business. Is it going the right direction with this new COVID thing moving forward? Are you going to make revenue, money? Are you going to sustain? That's one step back. One step to the side is it like looking from the outside from you to your business. Am I operating well? Like you audit yourself, you audit your business. So whatever environment that I'm in, is it still working? When you take from the side, like an external people looking, and then is this business can be expanded? So when you put that cap in, of course we learn from NLP. When you go to the side, you can seriously see a lot of things that's happening, and then you choose how to take it. And then you go for the top, having an overview of the industry, an overview of the market. Are you in the right market environment? And then are your market going to be extinct as you move forward? Or the margins are getting so small, the cost is to be so high that it make it no longer profitable to run it. So I have some challenges with kids, so sorry. So this is real life in running business too. As you're running your business, there's something running, you got to be present to it. So this is what I'm present to at the moment. So that's Terence. This is real life, so it's on live show. So this is
Good.
it.
You get distracted on real life too. Yeah.
So
now we work from home, kids get distracting you. Fantastic. Okay. In closing, like Izam and I are running a 2-hour master business program this Saturday on 27th July. So we would like to invite a few more business leaders to join us. We like to work with small business. It's a small, intimate coaching session this Saturday. Please click the link to register. It's somewhere on the screen. What we plan to do is to guide business owner with practical strategies that will work for you. You'll discover what the new reality in your business is and critical area to focus on, the 1% effort that will make the big difference in the organization and your business. Dissect what works and what doesn't work in your business. We're also looking to reinforce your business with 8 keys to survive, stabilize, and thrive during this crisis. And we would like to look at how to increase your performance using the 5 pillars of productivity that Izam has worked through with many of businesses. So these are things that we would like to work with you this Saturday. Do join us this Saturday. And if you have any questions, please continue to comment and ask, and we'll do our best to answer in the post below. Thank you.